It's been 42 years after 1976, and the children of Soweto are increasingly growing aware that the prophetic fire and spirit of the much vaunted revolution has faded. In an article on IOL News, Sandile Memela said, looking back at the past 42 years, the angry, defiant, and self-sacrificing youths who were willing to confront the mightiest military state in Africa have grown soft. It comes with age. When you are 45 years old, you become soft around the waist and the frontal part of the brain. We spoke to some of the youth around our direct community to find out how they feel about Youth Day. Do the struggles of Youth Day still resonate with the struggles that some of the youth face today? What is your name?
Dinto.
How old are you?
18.
Why did you think about that?
I wanted to say 19, but I'm not there. No, I'm 18.
Okay, cool. How do you feel about the 16th of June, 1976? Or just the 16th of June, Youth Day in general? Do you feel like it's still a very important holiday?
I think so. Like, maybe not in our lives, but I know, like, in places where a lot of stuff happens, it's still pretty important. Like, in some places they have, like, youth empowerment and whatever, and for those specific places it's important in terms of growth and whatever, but maybe not for me specifically, but I see the relevance.
So how do you celebrate Youth Day?
I don't. My mom's like, Happy Youth Day. That's literally all that happens. No, I'm being for real. That's all that happens.
No braai, nothing?
Oh, nothing for me. Nothing at all.
Thanks, Dinto.
Pleasure.
All right, what's your name?
Lesego,
How old is you?
25.
All right, Lesego. What do you do to celebrate Youth Day?
I sit at home, watch movies. Yeah, that's it.
Do you think that Youth Day, or the 16th of June, touches on the issues that the youth are facing currently? Or is it a thing that was for the people in 1976 and remained in 1976?
I think that because most of the time these days we get drunk and have a nice time and we jol. So I don't think the youth of today really it doesn't mean much to them. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, it's just a nice holiday to go and wear uniform and jol. Yeah.
Are you gonna wear your uniform?
No, I'll be at home.
Hey dude, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
What's your name?
My name's Mike.
Mike, how old are you?
I'm 30 years old physically, but mentally I'm about 16 and a half.
All right, how do you celebrate June 16th?
Well, normally I spend it with my family. My family is very big on celebrating the past and celebrating the people who have struggled for this country. Unfortunately, this year I'm not able to do that because I have prior commitments and basically need to work. But I'm one of the rare people who actually enjoys like going back into the past and going to like the Apartheid Museum and going back and looking at what actually happened on June 16. So I know that I'm not normal.
Shakti, so do you think that June 16th now touches on the struggles of the youth? Because we always see June 16th, they're going to play Sarafina, there's going to be a big Hector Peterson picture somewhere on social media, they're going to post up pictures from 1976. But do you think it touches on the struggles of the youth now?
I don't think that anybody who has been, who's grown up in the country that we have at the moment can fathom the struggle and the hatred and the sheer anguish that people have gone through for us to live in a free and fair society. And I think that unless you're extremely good at quantifying, like, and imagining what has happened, you're not going to know. So to answer your question, no, I don't think so. I don't think that the youth of today understands what has happened in order for us to live in the South Africa that we've got today.
What is your name?
My name is Bonola Matlala. Final year information science student.
And how old are you?
What year is it? I'm 23.
So Bonola, 16th of June is coming up in like 2 days. How are you going to celebrate your 16th of June?
Well, June 16, it's not a big deal anymore. I feel like people just use it as a holiday. So I'm just gonna be spazzelling with my mates. But we'll never forget what happened in 1976. But these days, I feel like it's not a big deal anymore.
George Mukwena, 26.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a millennial?
Not really.
That's great, though. 16th.
I don't know if you want me to go into detail about it.
No. So the 16th of June is coming up.
Yeah.
How do you normally celebrate the 16th of June?
Honestly, I just stay home, man. Do whatever needs to be done at home that I can do at that time that I didn't have time for. That's what I do.
Do you think the 16th of June is still a thing? Or is it just a holiday? Like, do you think people actually take time to remember the 16th of June? Or do people just go get lit, especially young people?
I think we go get lit because like the meaning is a bit more diluted than I'd say it was, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially since there's a lot of problems that the youth feels like is not being addressed and stuff. So a lot of these holidays, not just June 16, a lot of them, you lose out the meaning of it because it no longer means those things to at least the youth of now. It's just a public holiday, really.
So how do we make it mean something again? Or should we now recreate another holiday that commemorates our current struggles?
I think the idea of Youth Day is great. It's just that when you think of Youth Day, you don't think of our troubles. You know what I mean? Like you think of it's always been linked to those things. What needs to happen is that we need to be linked to the things that we have now: employment, entrepreneurship, youth, the things that have to do with youth at the current moment. But it's not like that. So people get lit.
I was thinking the perfect example for me would be like a Feast Must Fall holiday. Or like a Feast Must Fall, because we know that Feast Must Fall is 26th of October. It's the one thing that I feel was probably something that was youth generated, and that we would remember for like the next 10, 20 years. Do you think that would be a good idea, or seeing as these things are always changing? Do you think that we should have like a Feast Must Fall thing to commemorate our own proper Feast Must Fall struggle, or should we just now put everything that's youth on 16th of June?
Well, I think as a focal point, that would be dope.
Yeah.
To have it as a focal point because it's something that we understand. I think my only gripe is that I don't know if all of the Feast Must Fall things were addressed and fixed. So is it really a celebration, or is it, you know what I mean? Like, what are we commemorating at that point? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why I'm like, if it was to do with, I mean, it just has to appeal to us. Back then doesn't appeal to us, you know. Right now, if things do appeal, maybe if we do speak about it from that point of view, not so much a celebration, but a day to take toll, review what has happened and where we are and what needs to go. I think that's dope.
Right. Thanks, dog. We spoke to some of the youth around our direct community to find out how exactly they feel about Youth Day. Do the struggles of 16th of June 1976 still resonate with the struggles that some of the youth face today? In typical millennial exchange fashion, we shoved 3 millennials in an air-conditioned studio and had an unscripted conversation about Youth Day. Hello, welcome to the Millennial Exchange. What's your name?
My name is Chwene Kapu, and I am 19 years old.
Okay.
You know never to ask a lady her age. What is this?
Hi, Kia. What is your name?
Hi, I'm Kia, and I am turning 23 next Friday.
I don't know about you.
Oh! Where are we going? What are we drinking? I do.
I do, Mangwana.
All right. Today's topic is the 16th of June.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing for 16th of June?
I'm going to be at home.
Actually, I'm going to be going somewhere.
You're going to be at home?
I'm going to be at home. I'm going home
Is that
to
what
my
you normally do?
grandmother's.
Home as in home or?
No, home to my grandmother's
Oh,
because I
okay.
want to go do my hair. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
I don't care for the 16th of June, bruh.
Oh, wow.
I really don't.
Does
Just
anyone
blatantly
care
say
for
that.
the 16th of June?
I understand like the significance and everything, like the importance of the day, but I don't think I would actually celebrate it.
I just think the 16th of June is Hector Peterson, the picture of Hector
the
Peterson.
picture, yeah,
Exactly.
And then that's not like, 1976, yo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna play Sarafina, and that's
And
Yeah.
everybody's gonna try, but I think that thing is leaving now, where everybody wears a uniform on the 16th of June.
Do you think so?
But who wears uniform? I think it's only old people wear uniform.
That's
because
true.
I wore uniform in high school. I don't want to wear
I'm
uniform.
straight out of high
dad.
school, so I am legit. Yeah, like I'm annoyed with that, with
Like,
anything that has
no.
to do with uniforms.
Personally,
yeah.
what I feel about 16th of June, and I was listening to some other radio show, and they were like, yeah, the youth don't really feel for the 16th of June. And I'm like, hold up, millennial exchange topic idea.
Yeah.
Do us as millennials, do we care about the 16th of June?
Look, I mean, I think
Because, okay, it's a thing that was like, all right, so we saw our parents striking,
Yes.
and we saw them like in the background of the
Yes.
Hector Peterson picture. They're like, they're there in the background.
Yeah.
And like the small pictures that we see. But that's our parents. And you talk to them now and they're so passionate about it.
true.
But us, it's sort of like, yeah, 16th
You know
of
what?
June, get lit.
I think for me personally, I don't, like you said, I don't despise the significance of the
Yeah.
event. And I acknowledge that those were some real struggles, and they played a big role in us having the opportunities that we have right now at that time. But the relevance of June 16 now, I think it has lost its relevance in a sense that people don't know what to do June 16. Like I saw these
Yeah,
big
that's
posters
true, yeah.
about June 16 being a day where we all get drunk and like get hyped up as the youth. And that is what just June 16 has become to us. So the significance of it, I don't know there's anything that's still left that we do that commemorates the initial,
Yeah.
event that happened on June the 16th, except wearing uniform and getting drunk.
And it's like so many other like public holidays that we have in South Africa. Like we're no longer just
South Africa
celebrating.
has a lot of public holidays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But,
but the
we don't think of the
significance of
significance.
it.
We always think of, okay, there's going to be an event that tries
So
to.
should there maybe be less
celebrate,
public
yeah.
holidays that we like remember and focus on like the main ones?
I don't think there should be less public holidays because
Definitely
definitely not.
Stella, what are you saying?
I mean, as a student in varsity, no.
But I think they should find, I think the government as a whole, or the country as a whole, should find ways of trying to keep them relevant. Like,
Yeah.
they have
But
reconciliation.
like, how do you keep? Okay, I don't
even know what that is.
I don't
It's on the
for
16th
real.
of June.
Of June, no.
No, that's
Yeah.
16th
No.
of June is Youth Day.
I mean, 16th of December, sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's
you
on the
see?
16th of December, it's Day of Reconciliation. And then there's Boxers Day. What the hell?
Oh,
don't
Boxing
even
Day,
know
not
what
Boxing.
Exactly. It's an excuse to say that it's a public holiday, honestly.
Boxers is what you wear in your pants, but like,
Whatever, you know
Well,
what
no,
I'm trying to do. I don't even know what that day is for, bruh. Like,
Isn't it like for actual boxing? Like, you know, the
no.
it's
Michael
not.
Ali.
Boxing Day is like it's like a stupid holiday. I think Boxing Day is like a day to relax after Christmas. But Boxing Day is a day when you like
Why boxing,
box.
though?
You put
No, that's Day of
listen.
Reconciliation.
You put your old gifts like in a box,
It's on the
and then you take them to charity.
Oh.
That's
But
why it's
do-
called Boxing Day. You box
Okay,
the
that
things up.
that makes sense.
Okay.
That
Yeah, the
really-
Model C schools. I mean, if you go to Model C schools, they teach you these things very early.
They don't.
Uh,
They teach us about European culture and stuff. They don't teach us about South Africa.
Ooh, I wanted to ask you guys. So, like, in terms of us as the youth, what can we do to like commemorate 16th of June? Or how can we make it ours? Because you know how they say that the future belongs to the youth.
Yeah.
So how can we take 16th of June like and
good
make
question.
it ours without making it things like, oh, we're gonna get hammered?
Yeah.
Or-
I think also the uniform part. Like we can.
So we must wear school uniform.
Yeah, I think.
guys, I don't even
honestly-
know what my uniform is.
I mean,
Trina, are you gonna wear uniform?
he
if
won't.
if I was thinking about trying to in like just sort of make the holiday relevant, I would actually wear a uniform because I feel like it would be a way for us to be unified and to know that okay, we actually do acknowledge the fact that today is Youth Day instead of going to these events where we spend a lot of money on alcohol,
So you
thinking and all in the name of no, I'm actually celebrating.
Whoa. I'm
Youth Day.
confused. So you're saying that we should wear uniforms and sit at home?
No, we can meet up and go
You must wear
to.
uniform and
No,
go to school,
we can
man.
meet up in the streets. Do a young march. I honestly feel like that would be cool, like a young march at the actual place where this whole.
That would actually be a good idea.
yeah,
Like
with
if we
this-
like replicate.
Yeah,
what,
it would
what
actually be
was
cool.
happening? Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that there's people that do that.
You think so? But it hasn't been talked about in the media.
Yeah, maybe it's not a big thing in the media. I think the struggle for education continues
That's
in
true.
different
That's
aspects.
also what I was feeling. Like the struggle for
Yeah.
education is still a
It
big thing. I
really-
mean, we're still
That's true,
battling
yeah.
for free education.
Yeah, I think it continues, and I think that's one way we can commemorate the day. Look at the current struggles that we're having. Like I know Fees Must Fall is still a chat within like the academic world, and also certain like something so simple like donating books to like underprivileged
Underprivileged
kids,
kids, yeah.
underprivileged schools, or volunteering to help out the matrics. Obviously it's a holiday, but something that is related to the struggles that are relevant in the education sphere now. And also I think struggles that we encounter as millennials, guys, we go through
the
a lot.
most. I think honestly, millennials, we are
Yeah.
like the thickest and most strongest
Yeah.
individuals they are, because we go through so many contemporary issues.
We go through a lot, and
I think
And we bottle them up.
as a millennial, like it's so hard, it's so weird and hard, like navigating this changing
Yeah.
world. Like
it's a
is.
lot.
and like now we've got issues like with patriarchy and with feminism
Dude,
and
and-
with race and all these things. Like it's difficult to see where these lines intersect and how. Like think about having a normal conversation with someone or in a multicultural room. The minute you say something like this, you can offend someone.
True.
That's true,
True.
And it's difficult, like navigating. I always call it like doing the intellectual waltz, where like if you make one false move, you step on someone's toe.
Yeah, true.
And that's like it's part of being part of the Rainbow Nation. I mean, you're bound to sort of conflict with someone else's views. Because we are we have so many varieties
opinions,
and
yeah.
opinions in South Africa. So
Yeah.
that's bound to happen.
But I also think it's this whole idea of being woke.
yeah,
Like
hashtag woke.
sometimes just keep quiet.
Quote unquote. woke.
Hashtag woke.
In
Yeah.
inverted commas, because sometimes I think we are very quick as millennials. We are a very opinionated generation.
Highly.
Very.
And we are very quick to speak.
We like to
out
sound smart
what
also.
we think,
Yeah.
which is fine. There's no problem with that
At all,
But
yeah.
we don't give each other a chance to understand the context that somebody else is coming from when they voice out the opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, fine, be a feminist, but respect my opinion. Don't try and impose your beliefs, and like, because we're living in the, what is this, the technological world that has been
Information
enlightened. Just let me be.
I want
dude,
I want to bring it back to education, to
Yes.
the whole free education thing. We had Fees Must Fall in 2016. I think it was the 26th of October 2016.
Yo,
Tune
Sela.
ish, you're probably.
He was the.
I was in grade 11.
Oh my.
I saw
Wait,
everything
let
from
me actually ask you,
news, yeah.
how was it being in grade 11 and experiencing Fees Must Fall then?
Witnessing.
It definitely impacted me because I wanted to go to the University of Cape Town.
Yeah.
But considering the fees and everything, my mom was like, rather go to a less expensive institution, but
That's
also
good.
Affluent.
less affluent. Ooh, excuse me. That's the word I was looking
Hey,
for.
Cheso in the
Hi.
game.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, I think it actually definitely influenced the institution that I want to go to, and also made me work harder to try and get a bursary, even though I didn't get it because I applied late. I still feel like it actually motivated me to work extremely hard. So
Yeah. Did you were you at one point were like, yeah, I want to go to this university thing and I want to mess everything up. Senya batlo patela.
No, actually, it also motivates you because that your parents are going through the most to put you in these
Financially.
institutions financially. So
Yeah.
it motivates you to work hard to apply for those bursaries and etc. Like those financial aids. So I think. Yes, it is a disadvantage to us in terms of our parents are going through the most, but it can actually be a source of motivation, to work extremely hard.
Yeah.
Can I actually say something? I read something interesting about this education thing yesterday, where millennials are the most how could I say, they're the most generation, they're the one generation out of all, from comparing with previous generations, that has
The baby boomers. And
the greatest debt when it comes to college.
Oh snap!
I was
Makes
so
sense, though.
shocked.
It
I
makes
was shocked. We are the most educated generation, but we are the one generation that has like a lot of debt when it comes to colleges, and the amount of debt that people are actually have is more than the household income.
Income, yeah.
Can I
It's
ask,
shocking.
Is this specific to America?
I
or
think
is
it
it-
was specific to America, but I
Because
think
I would love to find out those statistics in South Africa.
in South Africa,
Because imagine if
I
it's in
wouldn't be
America,
shocked,
or
though.
how is it in South Africa?
Because now you have things like NSFAS, and NSFAS now you can. So people borrow either. I don't know if they get loaned, if they loan money, or if the money gets given to them, not for repayment. But I want to find out how many people actually owe universities money,
I think it's a lot. I really think it's
especially
because
here in South Africa.
especially in South Africa, because in as much as it was like the context was in the US, I think also South Africa and the US have similar history bases, and obviously the statistics are different now. But I think it's a lot of people, because I know my uncle just finished paying off his NSFAS grant probably like 3 years ago.
You?
And he's married now with a family. And you
Sure.
are forever indebted to your education, like,
yeah.
and it takes a long
Takes a
time
long
for you to
time.
actually like start getting your paper rights. You know, like we get our things later on in life. Our parents bought houses at 24, whatever. You get your
Those things were
things
so much
later
cheaper
on.
back
Exactly,
then,
you get
yeah.
your things later on because there are other things that you have to look at.
I think it's difficult navigating. For example, like now about the June 16 day, it's difficult navigating our parents' struggles and our own struggles, because now with June 16 is a day where now these struggles both get to intersect.
Yes.
Because now you're talking about June 16 is a day where we remember my parents' struggles, but are my struggles also represented in that June 16 day? Because we're not fighting for boundary education.
No, we're not.
Fighting, yeah. We're
We're
But-
not fighting the apartheid government.
Not at
either.
all.
But we are fighting for things like free education.
Yes.
Institutional racism.
Institutional
everything.
racism.
Yo, dude,
Yeah.
it's
Stuff
a
like that.
lot.
It's also interesting, like just how little things have changed in terms of some educational things, like with the whole free education thing. People, the ANC government promised free education years ago.
Yeah, and
we still haven't.
It
seen
actually goes back to the whole 1994 transition, like from apartheid to now, like
Yeah.
they called it the liberal democracy stage or whatever. But I don't think a lot has been done, you know, in terms of what has been promised in the constitution.
Yeah,
and
theoretically.
yeah,
It's cool.
it's cool, but
the
practically, I
implementation
mean, nothing.
is poor.
Yeah, I
part is
mean,
very poor.
it's sad to also witness, because these are like our fellow brothers and sisters. I mean, yes, we are going through hectic struggles here at university, but there's so many other people who can't even get into university because of finances and other.
I actually have a question. I'm wondering, like, you know how we are fighting? Obviously, our parents fought for against Bantu education,
Yeah.
and we are fighting for free education. Do you think that, like, in a few years to come, our kids will probably still be encountering similar
These
struggles?
problems.
It's interesting, yeah.
Where, I mean, it's probably going to take a really long time to implement this thing and like make it lucrative in like a third world country.
Yeah.
I'm actually wondering, I know it's not something that I can like see, but I'm wondering what kind of struggles then would our kids be facing, if they had to celebrate June 16.
It might become like liberals, struggles to do with society in itself.
LGBTQ
Society in
issues,
itself,
yeah.
and not necessarily institutionalized or institutions in themselves. So maybe institutions, but most probably society. And the reason why I say that is because of the advancement of technology. So technology, the way it's advanced, it's bringing us closer and closer together.
True.
And the amount of time it takes for information to go from point A to point B is much shorter.
Yeah.
20 years ago, the only way you can go from point A to point B was sending a letter, and if you're very rich, by sending an email. Sending a letter would
fax.
Yo, bruh. I remember when I was young, I tried to get a pen pal. You guys ever hear of pen pal?
I don't even know what that is. Hey?
Yo, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm a 99 child. Don't know what that
5
is.
to 2000.
Yay,
You just
know,
made it.
round it off to the nearest
So,
100.
When I was young, I tried to have a pen pal. A pen pal is basically somebody you write a letter to in one part of the world, then you send that letter to them, and then they write a letter back to you.
Okay.
So yeah, and I remember I wrote, then my parents would tell me like, yeah, no, it's gonna take a long time, and it really did. It took like 3-4 weeks. I think 4 weeks for the letter to come back.
I thought for your letter to be delivered.
No, I think it was from a letter to go there because I was writing one to America. So
where did
it's
you take the
approximately
letter?
2 months to actually hear from the person.
Yeah,
Imagine, fam.
I would die.
I would even forget what I was asking them in the first place.
Like,
oh,
it's
did
not
I
even
actually
important anymore.
Yeah, did I actually type this or whatever? You know, like, oh, okay.
So yeah, I think we're going to be struggling with societal issues because people's opinions are going to be spread around much quicker than we can imagine. Hey,
Yeah.
much faster.
But I'm just trying to imagine, do you think at the current rate that we are, like with technology and everything, do you think it's going to be as advanced as we think it will be 10 years from now, or is it just going to be
I
like
think so.
the same situation?
I
going on?
definitely
I think in schools
so.
they must actually start teaching technology
From a
and internet
very
etiquette.
Definitely.
Internet
definitely.
etiquette.
From like
definitely.
grade R.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how
From
to
grade
construct
R.
an email. Because I struggled. I only knew how to construct a proper email when I was in grade 10. I should have known this when I was like in grade 7 or something.
Yeah,
you
true.
know, because I was like, okay, so I hear there's a CC. What do I do? The
But
CC.
that's another issue. I'm glad you actually mentioned that in terms of education, because the Model C things, we are millennials, we have similar struggles.
Yeah.
But I think some people's struggles are like different from like
His
you know
struggle-
there's like
his
the
struggle is more strugglier than
It's
mine.
more strugg-
yeah, like if you want to say that, because I'm thinking for someone who is from I'm from Soshanguve. I'm
Yeah.
gonna drag it down a bit. But for someone who's from a township, and I get like emails or I get computer etiquette when I'm in grade 10, and then compared to someone who got computer etiquette from grade 5, we get to the same university. And then the pressures, the struggles that we
Oh,
encounter are
fam.
so different.
It's a lot.
And it's just like millennials have same struggles,
Different degrees of
but
struggle.
they don't have the same struggle.
We're all equal. Some of us are more equal than
I'm more
others.
animal fam.
I
But
don't
that-
think so though. We can we've got like so many different battles. Like somebody could be, trying to put food on the table even though they're going to university. Somebody could be trying to maintain their bursary. Like we've got so many different struggles. So I don't think that we're equal in any way, honestly. I don't.
Yes, some are more equal than a Model C. Black Model C students are more equal to white people than
Oh yeah.
black.
They resonate.
This is the Millennial Exchange, powered by Quintessential ZA.